Chapter 12. Nice coffee. Becky and Richard were sitting upstairs in an otherwise empty 24/7, trying to get warm. Becky nursed her cup, hoping her fingers would soon thaw out. Richard had drained his first coffee and was now sipping the second one more slowly. Their quick scouting mission to find the site where the photographs were taken from had turned into a marathon lasting 5 long, cold hours. Socko had done a meticulous search of the area where the blood had been found, taking many samples for inspection and possibly testing. "Of course, this might be animal blood," said the sea manager, "or it might not be related to the crime at all." "Give us a break, Norman," said Richard. "How likely is it that the blood in the same area that the photos were taken isn't connected with that girl's body?" He waved the photos in his hand in the man's face. "I just don't want you to get your hopes up, that's all." Now, caffeinated and slightly warmer, Becky and Richard tried to rationalise what they had found. "He's right, of course," said Becky. "Who?" "Keep up, Richard. Norman. It might be a dog with a bleeding paw, or someone had a nosebleed." "And ran into the woods?" "Yeah, right. Mark my words, that's either our victim's blood or the perp's." Becky nodded and finished her coffee. Just at that moment, the jolly waiter came upstairs and began to wipe the tables and collect cups. He smiled at Becky, then came over to their table. "Hi, would you like another one?" "No, I'm good, thanks," said Becky. He moved away, then turned back. "I know you. You're that detective. You came in the day they found that poor lass in the park." "Yes, the day of the writing thingy." She waved her arm round the area where the group had been sitting. "Our crime writing club. Yes, that's right." He sat down on one of the empty chairs next to Richard. "We all wanted to pick your brains, but you disappeared." "Oh, yes. I got a call and I had to leave." "Crime writing, you say?" asked Richard with an eager look on his face. "Yes, it's loads of fun. Do you fancy joining us? You'd be more than welcome. A real-life detective on the team. That would be a dream come true." "Do you write, Richard?" Becky asked incredulously. Richard stretched his legs out under the table. "Well, I have been known to knock out the odd bit of prose." "Really?" Becky began to wonder what else she didn't know about her colleague. "Fancy writing a crime novel?" asked the waiter. "Maybe." Richard smiled to himself. "It could be a nice little sideline." "Seriously?" Becky squeaked. Richard looked over, but he was saved by the bell of her phone. "Yes, boss. We're on our way back now." "Yep, see you soon." She looked over at her partner. "Got to go." Richard drained the rest of his coffee and handed his cup to the waiter. "Thanks. Just call me Dante." "Okay, see you." "Don't be a stranger." As they headed back to the car, Becky looked at Richard, who had a secretive smile on his face. "I think just call me Dante might be your first fan." She dug him in the ribs. "Do one, Becky," he replied, but the smile didn't go away. We're moving forward, slowly, mind you, but at last we have some leads. Wen sat on the edge of one of the desks in the large office. Her officers straggled around her as they did a roundup of the day's findings before going home. "We have an area in the trees near the second murder scene where we suspect photographs were taken, and Richard found blood traces there." She nodded at Richard to take up the narrative. "Socko have taken various samples, but it's the blood that could give us the biggest lead." He paused. "It might just be the murderer's own blood." "What makes you think that?" asked Cassie. A couple of her colleagues rolled their eyes, but she ignored them. She didn't question things to annoy people. It was how her mind worked. Well, we didn't see any blood when we were walking away from the scene, so it's a good bet it's not our victims. We can but hope, Wen said quietly. Even if it is the perpetrator's blood, said Cassie, he might not be in our system. Thanks, Sarge. Richard clenched his hands, trying to control his frustration. Just saying, that's all, said Cassie, holding up her hands in conciliation. But what we do know, said Wen, or what we're 90% sure of, is that the killer took the photographs and then sent them to the Daily Comment. If we can get an IP address, we might have the bastard. Wen got up, went over to the whiteboard and stood considering the information before turning back to her team. Right, tomorrow. I'm speaking to the media with our chief inspector at 10. Cassie, you're going to be with our profiler all day. Becky and Richard, organise a house-to-house around Stockton Heath again, with the tidy-up photograph of the girl's face. Oh yes, and while you're in the area, go around the local cafes and restaurants. I believe there's quite a few. See if anyone recognises her. Was she a customer? Did she work for any of them? Pop in the shops and ask there as well. Yes, ma'am. Becky and Richard responded together. And when are you visiting the unit Martin Grimes was an inpatient at? The day after tomorrow, ma'am, Richard replied. The nurse we need to speak to isn't on until then. Unless you want us to go to his house tomorrow. No, Thursday will do. I think it would be better to see the place as well, see how it runs. And we might get some more DNA results tomorrow, added Cassie. Yep, so off home now, and we'll have another team meeting this time tomorrow. In the meantime, feed any information back to Jake. Wen looked around. Where is Jake? Hospital appointment, ma'am. He did ask. Is that today? Oh, right. I'll see you all tomorrow then. The bodies drifted away, muttering to each other, complaining about the long hours, the lack of real progress, and their colleagues, all quite normal. Wen sighed. It had been a long day and she was tired. Time to go home, say hi to her brother, and try and get some sleep. She wasn't looking forward to tomorrow. Not so much for the press conference, even though she hated them. Speaking in public had never been her forte. No, it wasn't that. It was the fact that Jeff was going to be here. She would try and keep out of his way for as long as possible. However, being the SIO, at some point she'd have to talk to him. She wondered if Jeff had changed. She doubted it. He was probably the same sanctimonious twat he'd always been. It was so annoying that she needed to call him in at all. But when all was said and done, he was the best at what he did. Wen couldn't let her pride hinder the progress of the case. She couldn't risk putting more people in danger just because she couldn't stand that man. Wen was sure things would look better tomorrow, after a good night's sleep. As things stood at the moment, they probably couldn't look any worse.